Yes.
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 Okay.
We're back.
Hey man.
Okay. Rita versus Ulrike.
Yes.
Rita played here yesterday.
Correct.
Actually, a few weeks ago, but the last movie that was here. And you said Ulrike should cut.
I think so. Yeah. It looks quite promising.
But you said she didn't do it.
No, she played here first, which well locally is also quite a nice move because you run away into the center.
And a little bit sneaky attacking this whole group.
Yes, which is very nice. Always be sneaky. So yeah, I think it's quite interesting move, but it's also a little bit slow.
Okay, so it was not the most severe move, but in general terms a good move.
I think so, yes.
Okay.
So maybe let's have a look what happens.
What would happen if I would be black?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so of course...
Cut!
Yeah, exactly. You have to cut now.
Yeah.
And do you see a little bit what could happen now?
No, yeah. We know from Murugandi's rule that white should not give Atari here. But the big threat is if black plays here and capture this whole thing.
Yes.
So I think white is like lost here.
White is a little bit, yeah, beep. I think so. Because for example, if you do not Atari, like you say, you do not want to Atari cutting stone but you just defend, then it's still quite nasty what black can do. Because black can also just, again, do a straight line here and threaten to capture this stone. And if white will start to run away, then this move is very severe. Do you see what that move does?
Double Atari.
Yes, it's aiming at the double Atari first of all. So if white will Atari here, then this would be yeah, quite nasty. There is still some sort of go situation over here, which I actually didn't see when I was looking at this variation at home.
Oh, because it takes Atari, you have to
Yes.
feel Atari, and then...
So let's see if it goes like that. Then, well, you don't want to play here because then you get...
Maybe you have to play it.
No. If you play like this, then you get really punished. This is very bad for black.
Okay, but
So maybe you would like to sacrifice this. This looks kind of playable for black actually, if you play this. Doesn't look so bad because these stones are very hurt. Do you see that?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So whatever white will do, if she will try to connect like this, then this is still not alive. And if you will make it 100% alive, then just help black very much. Of course, this fight is locally still in the game.
Yeah, and now I also understand Ulrike's desire to have a stone here, because now this looks like...
Yes. This looks a little bit tricky, but at the same time it's also very difficult for white to kill these stones. Because, well, both kind of ways of attacking, both directions, either from here or here, are not that great.
Yes, so you always push the water in the wrong direction.
Very good. So again, you have to think about steering your opponent somewhere. So try to think of this metaphor of the water. If you have a river and you put a stone in the river, it will go a different direction. So if this is the river and it wants to go into the center, and you want to cancel that plan, then you put a stone here and naturally the river can only flow into this direction. But if you do that, then you can see that it's a very natural way of connecting two weak groups, which is of course something that black would really like to do. And also, the many more stones that black will gain in this area also contribute to the possibilities here later. So the IG will be, yeah, quite big.
Okay.
So this kind of play is a little bit dubious. And this is also tricky because you push black into the other direction, you steer the river into the center, And now these two stones will get pressured because if there are stones here, this will...
And this whole group again.
Yes, exactly, because this is also not completely alive. So yeah, this would also be not too great. So in this case, it's yeah, of course it's a fight. It's locally an interesting fight, and to see what will happen here. But it's also difficult for white to really attack black. And this locally is a very nice result for black. Suddenly this stone has a very good function, and all this territory is destroyed. And these stones are just standing there for white, so this wouldn't be good. So that's one idea, to just first defend your own weaknesses, but that doesn't work for white. So let's see what other ideas you might want to try. So this doesn't work. Any other kind of defense doesn't look too great. I mean, if you just play here, it's very strange. If you play here, it's terrible, terrible shape, because black will just keep pushing you, and you're getting rid of your own liberties as well. So this is also very painful. Well, any other kind of plan like this also looks very dubious, because you can just do these kind of things, and after that come back here, or you can still even just do this. Also a strange move. So the conclusion here is that you have to play an Atari from either side, here or here. So the first idea would maybe be to try to surround this stone entirely, or to capture it in your own territory. But this looks very dangerous.
Yeah, because it's exactly the move black wants to make.
Yes, you force your opponent to do a move that he already wanted to do. Exactly. So this is.
So you know that is wrong.
Yeah, you can immediately know it's wrong.
So there's only one solution to go against Murugandi's rule of don't give cutting stones at time.
Exactly. I think this would be the only move, but still it's not so great for white. Yes, black will just have to extend here, and locally this again leaves a lot of weaknesses for white here, because if white doesn't come back, this follow-up is, well, again, extremely painful.
Yeah, because of this double Atari.
Yes, you cannot defend here, because again, you have double Atari, or maybe you can even play here immediately and kill everything. So, yeah, this is not possible, and playing such a move is also, well, you can see that black is just going through, and the problems are just becoming bigger and bigger. This whole group will start to be severely under attack, and if you're not careful it will be killed. And even if it will not be killed and you're alive like this, then, well, you can see you just let your opponent cut through your original territory.
So suddenly this is 80 points.
Yes, this whole part of the board is now black's, so this would be game over. So that's also not an option.
Ulrike, why did you play this?
Yeah, I think this would be quite severe. It would be nice. So, well, what white has to do is to come back.
Pushing from behind.
Pushing from behind again. Exactly.
But there are white stones here, so it's not really pushing from behind.
No, it's, well, it's okay, because you're somewhat connected here. You have already a stone here, like you say. So, if black gets a stone, white is already ahead of that one, more or less. But this also brings a lot of problems, because this black stone is actually on a nice spot. Do you see that?
And by the way, isn't this not possible?
I'm not sure, I didn't look at this, but I think this will be okay for white, because to come back and to...
One liberty too
yes,
much.
one liberty too much.
But sorry.
No, it's actually a very good suggestion, because these kind of possibilities still exist later. So the more stones black will gain in this area, the more important this cut will become as well.
Okay.
If black will have the possibility to cut here or here, then all these possibilities, all these aji moves in this area,
to play.
Yes, they will be very powerful. So this would also be kind of painful for white. White would probably have to fix his shape here. Another, well, disadvantage for black with this move is that white can try to fight back. So white can try to separate the black groups, and now it will really become very messy. One big, huge fight, and if one of the players will make one mistake, then they have a huge loss. So I wouldn't recommend this for either of them.
Poker go.
Yes, more or less poker go. But if you're afraid of this kind of move as black, you can also think about this move. And it all has to do with the fact that this is Sente for black. So if white will come back here, do you see that that's necessary?
No.
No? Okay, if white wouldn't come back,
yeah.
Let's say it's before these exchanges,
yeah,
but
yeah.
white will play somewhere else, then black can go through here. And it's like a cutting situation. White can cut on this side and either capture this stone or these two stones and connect all his...
So black can cut on this side.
Yes. You can also cut on this side if
yeah.
you would like to capture this stone. It's all about what you would like to capture. So for example, if you play here, you're aiming at capturing these two stones, but you also give away something to your opponent, because if white will just take that stone and sacrifice these two, locally he gets a strong shape here.
Yeah.
But if you would like to capture this stone, then I advise you to not cut on that side, but on the other side.
I think this is more wise in this case, because if
yes.
you're like strong here, you still have to take on this. And
yes, this is actually, I think, better to cut over here, you're right. Because white also cannot play here. This would be very greedy, and it would bring a lot of problems for white. Because not only does black capture this stone and this part of the board is nice, but this white group is also still not alive. So yeah, this looks very tricky, and yeah, too aggressive. So what white would have to do is to play here, and now you can see that like in the other variation, black still gains these stones, but unlike the other variation, there is not such a shape for white. Exactly. So this is better for black, of course. So that's why you always have to keep looking at which cut is more important. If you cut here, can white defend here, or does white have to take the stone? And what about the other variation? You know? Yeah.
always making it difficult.
I'm sorry. Go is a difficult game. But anyway, that's why not coming back here for white would be very painful.
Okay.
Because all black stones would be connected and he wouldn't be weak anymore.
Okay.
So this would be necessary. And now, instead of extending here, black can also think about capturing this stone immediately in a net. Do you see the net?
It's a loose net.
A loose net?
I don't know.
What does that mean exactly?
I don't know. But if white extends
Yes.
and black plays here.
Yes. And white is now captured. So that's also yeah, a good tip for a lot of players. If you want to capture a stone, first of all look at if you have a ladder possibility, that's nice, but also look at if there is a better way to capture. So if you can net your opponent. Because if you have a ladder variation, later white can, or your opponent can use that ladder to gain moves in another area of the board. Whereas if you just net something, it's, yeah, just a local fight that's completely gone.
I heard there are only two ways to capture a stone, or a net or a ladder. There's no other way. Is this correct, or is this too simple?
It is correct, but some players, especially Dawn players, like to try to net something on a very large scale, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So for example, they would like to play this move, because not only does it aim at this cut, but it also tries to automatically capture the white stone. But there are also a lot of negative sides to this kind of idea, which has to do with Agi, of course. Because if you do not capture this stone completely, it still has a lot of Agi, yeah, a lot of possibilities later. So you have to be careful, and if this is actually possible, then it might be dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, either of these two ideas would be nice. For example, if black would play here, then she has reduced white's territory, first of all. She has gained some sort of strong group in the center. It's quite local, but the strength can be useful later to attack this. But on the other hand, white also has center. So this cutting point over here is now sort of still available with this move, I believe. Or am I saying something strange? No, I don't think there's a cutting point now. If there would be a stone here, then there is. But what is actually nice for white now is that she has center, so she could attack this stone. So for example, such a move is quite interesting. I won't go into the details here. It's very complicated, and yeah, this is the kind of thing that I'm thinking about. You know, first of all, think about cutting, which looks very severe, but if you see that in such a case, I don't know, it's not that great to cut, because you only get a small local group here, and white gets the possibility to attack this stone, then maybe it's actually not so good for you.
Understand.
So you have to really keep looking forward, not only in a local fight, but also on a global scale. Because when the local fight is gone, the global skill
will always be there.
Exactly. So yeah, keep that in mind. Always keep looking at the whole board. It's difficult to do when you're fighting.
Yeah, you forget it.
Yeah, you just forget. Yeah, it's very.
How do you do that? Do you really try to talk to yourself? Okay, I have to look at the whole board again, or are you also lost in the fight?
Well, of course I'm human, so I do get lost in fights, but most of the time I do also keep talking to myself, which sounds kind of schizophrenic, but
no, I think it's the only way to improve.
Yes. You have to keep doubting your own moves. A lot of players become too comfortable with their own playing style, and also with their own level, so they think, I'm just right, I'm gonna play here and I'll crush you, man. But then, yeah, maybe they crush somebody locally here, but suddenly your opponent takes the big point on the board and you're getting crushed.
If you stop doubting yourself, you cannot grow anymore, I think.
Yes, I think so as well. Yeah. So yeah, it's difficult to combine this kind of local looking and local thinking with a on a global scale, but yeah, keep trying. I think it also has to do with experience again, and with getting used to something, because if you keep talking to yourself, eventually it will become an automatic system.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, it will be in your system, and if
Yes.
you never talk to yourself, you will forget all about the lessons.
Yes, exactly. So keep doubting yourself, but not too much. Some sort of positive arrogance is also needed to become stronger. So believe in yourself, but also doubt your own moves. Yeah, so, well, this cut looks interesting, but I'm not sure if it would be better for black or for white.
Okay, so we go back to Ulrike's move.
Yes, the jump. Yes. Here, of course.
Yes, and
she played over there. Yes. Which is quite nice, because not only does it attack this and also gain some strength over here, so this might become more interesting later.
if she now pushes and she makes this ball,
Yes,
it's automatically nets completely that.
that's done. Yes,
done.
very good. So that's why this also aims at the cut.
Yeah.
At least that's how it seems. But unfortunately, Ulrike didn't cut there.
What did Rita do then?
Yeah, Rita played here now.
She was afraid for this group.
Yes, and it also sort of pressures these stones, of course, because the next move, if white would gain moves around this area, then you can see that there are all kinds of white stones surrounding black's group. And if black's group is actually going to run towards his own stones, then the flow of water will be nice because white can stand in between, for example, like this. And
white can also play here, and then this whole group is also not wise.
Yes, exactly. So there are a lot of dangers at this point of the game for black, and I think she handled them quite well. At this point she played here, Ulrike.
Okay.
Which is a nice move because it connects her weak groups.
Yeah, two weak groups connected, so
that's very nice. On the other hand, you could also think that this group by black is not that weak on its own. So you can see that this kind of sun point or here or here you can make eyes, and also you still have the connection over here. If you could gain, oh no, that's not an eye actually. Well, you have some space over here.
But isn't then better just to play here immediately if you want to do it? Because I think this exchange, this helps white more than black, I think, or not?
I'm not sure. It's a good question. I'm very unsure about these moves in the center.
This is weer Tewari.
Tewari? Oh, what you're doing now?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's yeah, that's very good. So you have to look at the position and then think about the moves that you played earlier and if they're in the right spot.
Do you want it like this, or do we want it like this?
Yeah. Yes, a good question. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay. I will show you again. Do you want it like this?
As black, huh?
As black.
Okay.
Or do you want it like this?
I think I would prefer to have a stone here. And well,
then Ulrike played correct.
Yes, I'm not sure still. It's a very vague concept. Because if you leave it like this, the whole center is completely open. It's not that much of an important part of the board actually. Yeah, it's difficult. This move, it tries to attack these stones, but it also has some influence towards this part of the board because of the cut. And this move by white, it sort of defends this white group, but it also doesn't do that much. It does look at follow-ups like this, which yeah, came into play a couple of moves later, or this kind of thing to break into black's structure.
No, but let's put other way. It is like this, and black plays here. Do you want as white to play that?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't think so. I think you would like to play there, for example. Over here. Locally, this kind of shape is very good for white. So this is a nice shape point with these three stones to play here. You can see this shape more often in pro games, but yeah, I don't know. I'm also tempted to just go into black's framework here. Yeah, these kind of situations are even very difficult for me. Yeah, I think a professional player would know what to say here. I'm very unsure. But let's
it's
just...
your age.
It's my age. Okay. So let's just say that these exchanges are okay. I don't know.
Okay, so now white should play here?
Yes, yes, now white played there.
Oh, she played actually also.
Yeah, she did play there, which is quite powerful. It also has to do with black's move. If black would have the opportunity to play there,
it's surrounded again.
Yes, white is completely surrounded.
White should make eyes inside.
Inside and on a very small scale. Yeah, so this would be terrible. Another way of playing could be to play there for black immediately, but then it's again the flow of water, which makes the situation very dubious because you push white into this direction and this group becomes surrounded. Yeah. So it's a little bit vague. Also, it leaves a lot of cutting points for black. So yeah, this looks more nice for black, but still, I feel that at this point of the game, white is is actually gaining, because these stones, which in Fuseki looked very nice for black, are suddenly looking like they're too far away from this stone.
I see.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. They become a target instead of being
a strong wall.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because white gained all these moves in this area, and this potential has been quite damaged. So I'm not sure. And this stone is also still weak for black.
And these are like only like diamond points, and white got like territory.
Yes, yes, that's true. That's also why this cut is slightly dubious. I'm not sure about cutting there. It also has to do with the fact that before the situation was like this. I'm just gonna take away some stones here.
Some.
Yeah. If the position is like this, and actually you suggested white to make a move over here, it's very difficult for white to make territory here, because later black has all kinds of moves like this and also like this. So locally you do not really have a move here for white, and black has a lot of options.
Yeah.
So to cut...
To play there as black yourself, you cut out all your options and you leave only one possibility.
Yes, kind of. What you do here now is you make this side, by cutting like this, you make that side more interesting for white. You just stand here with your one group in the center, which, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna attack this group? Okay, maybe you would like to, but there are a lot of stones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 1. And now, if you sort of push white by doing this move, white somehow gains these moves and gains territory naturally, whereas black doesn't get territory immediately. Go is of course a very territorial game. It's all about surrounding territory, and especially in the opening you have to keep looking at moves that not only attack or make strength or defend, but also take territory at the same time. And that's why such an exchange feels a little bit better for white, because
this
just give something away.
That the cut now is the only...
Yes, I think so. I think you have to cut at this point, especially because there are so many weaknesses here. If you don't cut, you kind of give the game away. But well, anyway, let's go back. It was like that. Here, and then over there. Now, the next move is also very crucial, and I think I will leave you with this position, and you can think about it.
Okay, for tomorrow. For
tomorrow, yes.
Okay.
Because I think now Ulrike actually did the losing move.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and tomorrow will be like the last episode on this format.
Yes.
Not that us two, but for that we do it for free with sponsors.
Yes.
We will try to find a way to let you pay.
Yes, we are thinking about some sort of system where we will put one review online every week, and it will be available for everybody for free. And then we will make a couple of more episodes every week, but you can access them for very little money. So let's say €2 or €1.
Maybe we have to
or
calculate.
Even less, we don't know. Yeah. So let us know what you think about that idea, because we're still developing it.
And the still there's a cut here also.
Yes, it's true. White is well, the cut is not that important now, because
white is alive here.
Yeah, got some eye shape over there, so you're right.
Yeah, so also there the black lose the momentum somehow.
Yes, because now white only helped her own group. This was now strengthened, and at the same time she's destroying black's potential.
Okay.
So somewhere in the middle it went wrong.
Okay, so I know what to do this weekend.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Murugandi.
Thanks.
Thank you, viewers, and please let us know.
Yeah.
Bye.